Damn, have you guys seen Jersey Guy? I told him it was time to shoot the Preds fan reaction video. Da 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 da, da 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 da, hey, da da. Somebody still celebrating Todd Downing finally being fired? Don't you know it? He is finally gone. Everybody's hands go up, way up. As the Nashville Predators go into Canada's capital, they go into the Canadian Tire Center and they defeat the Ottawa Senators by a final score of 3-0. Juuse Saros makes 38 saves, and for the first time all season, on game 39 of the season, a Nashville Predators goalie has recorded a shutout. Third game of the 5-game road trip for the Preds, as they hope to keep the good mojo working so far through the road trip starting in Carolina and Washington. Second and final game of the season, barring something happening in the playoffs between these two teams. Rematch of the game back in Nashville on December 10th when the Preds lost 3-2. Colton Sissons with the good chance early on Cam Talbot in net again for the Sens, but his shot goes wide. Sens would then control a portion of the pace of play and portion of the game, including Parker Kelly wide open, but Juuse Saros bails out his defenseman's mental lapses to that point. Another good chance for the Sens early to crack Juuse Saros' shell as a pass from just inside the blue line. The Preds defense is not on its game quite yet, is able to get a puck, the Sens defenseman, to Drake Batherson, and he is all alone on Juuse Saros, but Juuse Saros stops him too. Then they would start the parade to the penalty box for both teams, as neither team would ultimately score on the power play at all in this game. First, it's Ottawa, Claude Giroux taking a holding call that they didn't agree with on Alexander Carrier. Preds with solid ozone possession during that first power play, but they just couldn't convert. And then the first Ottawa Senators power play of the game, which the Preds would kill off, would be Lauzon for interference. Somebody like Lauzon who, yes, would spark some offense in this game, but he would make a parade to the penalty box not one, not two single times, not three single times, 4 times! Jeremy, you can't be playing like that continuously. If you play like that against Toronto on Wednesday, the Preds are certainly going to lose. This game would remain scoreless until just about 5.5 left to go in the first period. Confusion by the Sens in the neutral zone as Nino Niederreiter is able to knock the puck down and he races in. Nobody in front of him except for a racing back Eric Bernstrom trying to play defense, and Nino Niederreiter is able to see that he's got somebody with him, so he lobs the puck through a sliding Bernstrom to try and block the pass to my captain, who receives the pass even though Bernstrom tried to block it, and Juuse buries his 10th of the season past Cam Talbot, and he makes it 1-0 Preds. Barely 30 seconds later, the Preds find themselves in the Ottawa Senators zone again, and the Preds are crashing the net. And guess who has the puck? It's number 84, Tanner Jeannot, as he's able to skate all alone, backhand behind Cam Talbot, behind the Sens net, and he appears to tuck it home, getting his first goal in such a long time. Oh, but it's deflected by a crashing Jeremy Lauzon, his second of the season. The Preds have the lead, though, 2-0. Oh, but Tanner Jeannot, oh, woe is me. You're so overdue for a goal, and we know in Preds Nation and your Preds teammates, when you finally get one, they're just going to come in bunches. Good news, though, like I said, Preds still cranking it up, and they have a 2-0 lead. Minute and a half or so after the Preds have made it 2-0, it looks like the Sens are going to get on the board as the Preds cannot clear. They let their goalie hang high and dry, and Brady Tkachuk appears to make it 2-1 Preds as he cuts into the Preds lead. But wait, hold up. Lawrence Filoni says to the coaching staff from behind the scenes, that's where the video review people are for each team, that he wants the Preds to challenge it. And it's perfectly described on Preds radio that I had to listen to, since I also had to watch on a muted French Sens feed, that Skillsy, Hal Gill, described that how quickly they're able to get the review in as soon as the puck enters the zone. Lawrence Filoni is correct upon further review, and the NHL head office in Toronto agrees. The Sens were offside. The goal does not count. Preds still lead 2-0. Preds maintain that 2-0 lead after the first period, but are slightly outshot by the Sens by a total of 14-10. As the second period starts, Brady Tkachuk and Juuse Parson are each in the box for a 2-minute roughing call as they got entangled near the end of the first period. During the 4-on-4 that would start the second period, it would appear as if the Preds would make it 3-0 Preds, as Mikael Granlund would carry the puck in on a 2-on-1, get it right over to Matt Duchene, who's able to beat Cam Talbot. But wait, hold up, now it's the Sens' turn to challenge it, and upon video review, yes, the man who is responsible for the league having the offside role in a game he scored when he was still with the Colorado Avalanche against the Nashville Predators that was clearly by a mile offside. That's the reason why we have this rule, but now Matt Duchene plays for the Preds. In this game, he jumps off the bench. It was all well and good. Not too many men on the ice, but Matt Duchene a little too eager to enter the Sens zone. He was offside. He wasn't pressured or anything. If he had just caught his breath for just a moment and timed himself just right with Granlund, who was the legal puck carrier coming into the zone, he would have been still home and cool. He still could have made it 3-0, but alas, the right call was made. The goal is taken off the board, and the Preds still have a 2-0 lead. About 5.5 minutes into the second period, Mark Kalisek and Tanner Jeannot agreed to get into a tussle. Tanner Jeannot obliges him. This is what happens sometimes when your team needs a spark. You know, maybe one time it would be reciprocated, and Tanner Jeannot would win this bout, kind of as if it was redemption for the Sens game in Nashville when Kalisek was the one who was responsible for Lauzon being hurt in that game and missing a bit of time. About halfway through the second period, Preds are generating more on-man rushes. This time, it's Ryan Johansson back to a wide open. He had all day Jeremy Lauzon, but he shoots it wide on Cam Talbot. Maybe a 2-goal night would have made up for how Preds fans are feeling about Lauzon for his performance in the third period. About 6.5 minutes and change in the second period. Oh, look, it's old friend Austin Watson who decides to step into UC Saros' kitchen to make pleasantries. Could someone remind Austin Watson that he doesn't play for the Preds anymore, so he best stay out of UC's way? Preds with a late power play push in the second period, hoping to extend their lead. They can't. Actually, the best opportunity on that short period of play was a 2-on-1 rush by the Sens, but they can't convert either. Preds' 2-0 lead is intact after 2 periods. Third period starts, the Preds not in the clear yet, especially not against this young, hungry, eager Ottawa Senators team. Sens with another power play early in the third period. One of 3 minor penalties to be taken by Jeremy Lauzon as he interferes with Tim Juuse, but the Preds successfully kill it off. Preds would finally appear to get some cushion in this game with about 7.5 into the third period. Sens are pinching, but the Preds are able to clear it out, and with the Sens pinch, there's an odd man rush. It's Philip Forsberg, and he's got Juuse Parson with him, and Philip Forsberg is able to keep it, and he shoots lopside past Cam Talbot. Forsberg's 16th of the season. He's really starting to cook now. Preds up 3-0. 10 minutes left to go in the game. Oh, and look, Jeremy Lauzon gets called for his third penalty of the game, this time holding Parker Kelly, and the Sens go back to the power play, hoping to chip into this game and see if they can make a game of it. Preds seem to be in a good groove defensively. They're in the right mindset. They have a 3-0 lead. They're playing well defensively, and they kill off Lauzon's penalty. Oh, and guess who comes out? And almost 40 seconds later, after causing that, guess who decides to take another penalty? That's right, it's Jeremy Lauzon, his 4th minor penalty of the game that I told you was coming, and he decides to rough up Parker Kelly. Could somebody keep Jeremy Lauzon away from Parker Kelly? Preds kill it off as we reach 5 minutes left to go in the game. Preds 3-0 lead, still holding up. Minutes are ticking off. Past 3 minutes left to go in regulation. And then at the 2.5 minute mark, the Sens pull Cam Talbot. Sens not backing down, having that lunch pail type effort, but under a minute left to go, they would take a penalty, putting the Preds on the power play, allowing them to just play keep away to try and milk the last of the clock. And wouldn't you know it, on the 3rd anniversary of Pekka Rinne scoring his first NHL goal in the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. His son, his hockey son, Juuse Saros, records the first shutout by a Preds goalie of the season. The Preds win the game 3-0 on the back of a 38 save performance by one Juuse Saros. So here we go again. I feel like I'm walking around eggshells, not wanting to jinx it. The Preds are on fire right now. You would say so, right? How long can they make this streak last, as they now have won 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6? They've won all 3 games on this East Coast road trip. Realistically, they can win 4 or 5. Can they win all 5? Power play still needs a little bit of an improvement. We all can see that. But the penalty kill continues to be strong. Penalty kill will certainly be put to a test against a high-powered Toronto Maple Leafs offense when the Preds head to Toronto on Wednesday, where you would assume Juuse Saros will play again, a man who has made 102 saves through 2 games before Lankinen, you would assume, gets Montreal on Thursday. Preds now are just a couple points out of either wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and they have games in hand on both Calgary and Edmonton. I am not all the way back on board with this team. It's close. But man, I shouldn't doubt them as quickly as I do sometimes. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption. 3-0 road trip so far. Why not keep this thing rolling and make it 4 on Wednesday in the center of the universe?